morning. Here am with the poem Would the Thunder Say by T.S. Eliot, the culminating section of T.S. Eliot's modernist masterpiece and the wasteland. The theme of the poem is the message an author wants to communicate through the piece. Would the thunder say, after the torchlight, red on sweaty faces, after the fruity silence in the gardens, after the agony in the stony places, the shouting and the crying, prison and palace, and reverberation of thunder, of spring over distant mountains. Here who is living is now dead. We who are living are now dying with a little patience. Here is no water, but only rock. Rock and no water and the sandy road. The road winding above among the mountains, which are mountains of rock without water. If there were water, we should stop and drink. Amongst the rock, one cannot stop for a thing. Sweat is dry and feet are in the sand. If there were the sound of water only, not the cicada and dry grasses singing, but sound of water over a rock, where the hermit thrush sings in the pine trees. Trip, trot, trip, trot, 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 trot. But there is no water. Who is the third who walks always beside you? When I count, there are only you and I together. But when I look ahead up the white road, there is always another one walking beside you, gliding wrapped in a brown mantle hooded. I do not know whether a man or a woman. But who is that on the other side of you? What's that sound? High in the air, murmur of maternal lamentation. Who are those hooded toadies swarming over endless plain, stumbling in cracked dirt, raked by the flat horizon only? What is the city or the mountains? Cracks and reforms and burst in the violet light, falling towers, Jerusalem, Athens, Alexandria, Vienna, London, unreal. A woman drew her long black hair out tight, fiddled whisper music on the strings, and bats with the baby faces in the violet light, and whistle and beat their wings, handed downward, down a blackened wall, and upside down in air were towers, tolling diminiscent bells that kept the hours, and voices singing out of ecstasies stands and exhausted breaths. In this decade, all among the mountain, in the faint the moonlight, the grass is singing over the tumbled graves about the chapel. There is the empty chapel, only the wind's hum. It has no windows and the door swings. Only a cock stood on the roof tree, cuckoo-ree-ca, cuckoo-ree-ca, in a flash of lightning. Then a damp gust bringing rain, while the black clouds gathered. Far distant over Himawan, the jungle crouched and hummed in silence. Then spoke the thunder, da! Ta-ta! What have we given, my friend? Blood shaking my heart. The awful daring of a moment's surrender, with an age of prudence, can never retract. By this and this only we have existed, which is not to be found in our obituaries or in memories trapped by the beneficent spider, or under liens broken by the lean solitaire. In our empty rooms, they are the woman. I have heard the key turn in the dark once, and turn once only. We think of the key, each in this prison. Thinking of the key, it confirms the prison. Only at nightfall, at surreal remorse, revives for a moment a broken Coriolanus. Tamyata. The part responded gaily when invited, hitting or baiting to controlling my hands. I sat upon the shark, fishing with the added plane behind me. Shall I at least, said my lantern narrator, lantern bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Poi Sasco's halfoco, digliafina condofiam cio chaliden, a swell, a prince recutena, a letter a bali. These fragments have showed against my ruins. Why then live at you, Hyrannus mas mad again? Datta, Dayatavam, Damyata, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.